Here we have a 1997 Sega Starship Troopers, kind of done on the tail end when Sega was kind of not cost cutting so much, but the games were kind of getting simpler toward the end. Not as good as some of their earlier efforts. It has a strange back box on it. It pops out. They did a couple games like this. I know that, Star Wars Trilogy and X-Files, some of their games that have a poor reception use this same kind of style back box. There's no sight on the art. It's easy to pop open though. I kind of like it for that, and it's not that bad. I prefer the traditional style, but it's kind of cool looking. But you know, the usual Sega quality, you know, flipper button wear is really common on them. Not the highest grade stuff on the side, but Starship Troopers is a very simple game, and that might be why, even though it's a pretty low production run, I think 1,500 or 1,700.
We need soldiers.
Less than 2,000 though, I know for sure. But most of them are pretty trashed. I guess it was pretty popular on location back in the day. A lot of them you'll find are pretty beat up with playfield and the cabinet. This one's in pretty nice shape. The previous one went kind of hog wild with the LEDs, and I like LED in games, but it's kind of overwhelming on this, kind of a seizure almost. But you basically just hit the targets on this one to kill bugs. The lights represent the 4 different kinds of bugs you're killing. Each planet you go to has a certain number you have to knock down, and you have to hit either this hole right here or this little scoop right here to go to the next planet. And you can hit the brain bug, which pops out of the playfield right here for an additional 1,000,000, but kind of a risky shot. It's really close to the flippers and really not worth it most of the time. The game has a third flipper, which really gives it a unique layout. Some very early solid state games, and I think a few electrical mechanical pinballs, like way old, have this kind of setup. I think some Gottliebs. I'm really not into the earlier games, so I'm not too familiar with them, but not too many games from the DMD era use this kind of setup with the third flipper, and it definitely gives it some variety and charm with that third one. It's a very fast game. The layout, it's not too special, but it's pretty fun. It reminds me of Terminator 2 a little bit because of the importance of the orbits and the ramps for jackpots during the multi-balls, and there are a ton of multi-balls. There's really no modes to speak of in the game. There's a hurry up or two, but more or less you're just going to be shooting either the orbits back and forth or the ramps, and that's about all there is to it. So it's simple, but it's fun. It's really fast. So kind of reminds me, I mean, most Steve Ritchie games, like you could say this is a Steve Ritchie game, and I mean, you could fool me. It's not by him, I can't remember the designer, but the flow on it's very fast return. So here's a game on Starship Troopers.
Starship Skymark, new battle flight, for the cleanup the system's outlying planet to one planet at a time. Today, we'll be attacking Sega Beach. Congratulations, recruit. Welcome to the running back. Fuck that! Today, we'll be attacking Gantana. Satellite.
Oh,